The whole point behind this mural is that we're trying to get behind the people who can't see each other right now. So your love travels wherever your people happen to be, even if you can't be with them. So instead of asking the question, how far does your love travel? It's just a statement, love travels far. We just know that. The Downtown Business Association approached the Vancouver Mural Fest about painting over some of the plywood that was covering the windows of some of the buildings downtown. And it came together pretty quickly, so they picked amongst Mural Fest alumni, of which I am one of the people that has painted a mural for them before, and they just put a group of artists together really quickly who could make the streets look a little bit better, a little cheerier, bring a little bit of hope. So they asked us in particular if we could have some sort of a message in our mural this time, and not make it something about our own artwork per se, but more about the message.
A lot of people driving by downtown, which is normally such a busy area, really noticed such a drastic difference in the last few weeks with the boarded up retail locations. And I think, it really just took a matter of enough people saying those should really have something on them.
And even when we started painting yesterday, there were already some people that stopped by on the street and they said, "Oh, thank you for doing this. The streets are so depressing." So I think people will see it and it'll give them something to look at, something that is a message of hope and not a boarded up window.
Really, it's a great base for art and expression, and something really delightful for people to see as they're driving by. I know it's a rough time when businesses are closed, and both for the businesses and for everyone around you, it does feel a little like the world is depressed when that happens, and so to bring some light and joy to the world, I think is really beautiful.
I think everybody's managing and coping and finding their understanding of what's happening in their own ways, and it's hard. When Kari and Penny Lane talked about the message that would be written on the board, love travels far, it really kind of struck with me because I think of my sister. I haven't seen her in a while, and then there are people who are separated even more than we are. They're worried about their loved ones.
I think art is always a really great reflection of any cultural experience or event or shared experience, and this is one of those ways that art serves a purpose when so oftentimes I think in crises, people think that something like visual arts is completely unnecessary. This is one of those times when, hopefully we're showing that it helps. Every little bit helps.
I think a lot of artists, all the people I've asked are artists. I think a lot of us are, like in all times, artists want to talk about what it is that's happening in the world. So I think a lot of us are looking for a good reason to say something. And this was a very good reason.
I didn't know she was doing it today. She just called me last minute and said, "Are you busy?" I'm like, "No one's busy. Of course I can come do it."
So we did a mock-up just so we could see what it was going to look like. So it's based on one of my prints called Falling. So we thought the idea of falling and then the message about love kind of went together. Okay, we're just starting to lay in the thicker lines now with the graffiti markers. I use the graffiti markers because they mimic the carving lines, because I like to try and make my murals look like my prints.
So day to day with, just being in the art studio and with our little dog hasn't changed as much, but there aren't those seeds that you get to plant, like having shows or events or those kinds of things where things happen, magic happens. So it's been a little hard to have that all disappear very suddenly. But this also came from this experience. Art never stops, and as artists we never stop making, and so we'll always find opportunities and ways to make it happen, whether it's in isolation, whether it's out in the street.
Like as artists, we're always doing, like you make your own work to convey a certain feeling that you have, and then when you get to do a project like this, you get to convey an emotion to a bunch of people. Like you get to convey a message which you don't often get to do in your work. So yeah, it feels a little sneaky to be out here painting, but it also feels really good.
I think at this time, with so many artists not being able to show, to have a public sphere like this to show your work in is very exciting. It's not quite the same as a gallery, but it's almost more exciting in some ways because everyone gets to see it. It doesn't have that barrier of a door to go through. It's right out in the open for everyone.
I think people have been really excited. We've had bus drivers stopping to tell us how much they like it, people yelling from their cars.
Like they just stick their fingers out the window, good job, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really great.
For us, this is a way for us to share love and show love for our city and people around the world.
At first when you're doing it, it seems a bit overwhelming, you're not sure you're going to get done, but then when you start wiping the chalk away, it's such a nice feeling. And it feels so nice to leave a message of positivity in the world. I think a lot of people, it's a simple message, but it means so much. For those who can't be together, just reminding everyone that love has no bounds. How does it make you feel?
How does it make me feel?
Yeah.
I feel really proud. I feel really proud of Kari all the time. She's such a dedicated and hardworking artist. And I feel proud of us doing this together.
Yeah, I mean, I think you in general bring out like the softer side of me. So I never would have made something like this before I'd met you. So, yeah.